in between catheter ads on Fox. Ooh. You're a man.
This might be the best Jon Stewart. Like, this might be the best I've seen him in years. This was like wall to wall and hilarious. I'm going to talk about Jon Stewart's DNC recap, but that's it.
Welcome to Chicago. Lovely theater. We are live. Right now we are live. The Democratic Convention is wrapping up maybe hours from here. We don't really know where it is. It's far from this theater. But what a night for Kamala Harris. By the way, the anticipation was high tonight. And not just for Kamala Harris. Speculation was running wild today that there would be a surprise guest. Boy, did they deliver.
Please welcome Michigan Representative Alyssa Slotkin.
Freedom! Freedom! I am in the slot hive. You thought?
Yeah, the audio's a little weird. I agree. I don't know why.
Oh, it was Beyonce, because everybody thought that it was going to be Beyonce coming out there, but it was Slotkin all along. Everybody knew. Tonight was the final night for the DNC, and they did it all. They spoke in support of curbing gun violence. They spoke in support of investing in our schools, fighting climate change, and upside-down drumming. A remarkable story. Born conjoined. They didn't let that stop them from upside-down drumming. But it was Kamala's night, and her opportunity... She's not here either. No Beyonce, no Kamala. Okay. Hey! Tickets are free, mother. It's Kamala's night, and it was Kamala Harris's opportunity to be introduced as a presidential candidate to America.
Growing up, we moved a lot. I will always remember that big Mayflower truck packed with all our belongings, ready to go to Illinois, to Wisconsin.
Just name swing states. Just say that you moved to swing states, that you moved to Michigan, to Georgia, you moved to Arizona. Just make it up. But this is great. We finally get to meet Communist Kamala, the radical that we have heard so much about.
I believe everyone has a right to safety, to dignity, and to justice. A harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us.
Okay, Stalin.
This is one of the reasons I became a prosecutor, to protect people.
Das Vidanya, comrade.
I stood up for women and children against predators who abuse them. I fought against the cartels who traffic in guns and drugs and human beings, who threaten the security of our border and the safety of our communities. And I will tell you, these fights were not easy.
Why are you doing the thing that they told us that you were going to do? With the hammer and the sickle and the bandoleros with the jello shots and the, why are you doing this? What?
On behalf of everyone whose story could only be written in the greatest nation on earth, I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
By the way, how funny would it have been if at the end she was just like, but seriously though, not for me. This has all been great, but I've been thinking it over. By the way, if I was Donald Trump right now, I don't even know what I'd probably just be tweeting nonsensical to distract from the fact that she doesn't faintly resemble the caricature that's been painted. By the way, that is what he was doing. These are his real tweets.
This, by the way, is straight up yet another indication that, like, there is a very decent likelihood that Kamala Harris will win. Okay, like, barring anything that she said in the speech in and of itself, like, you know, is she captivating undecided voters? The media will run the classic song and dance over and over again to be like, oh yeah, she's moderating. Look at how moderate she is. What that actually translates to in terms of, like, voter participation, voter enthusiasm, that remains to be seen. I personally think that moderating, capitulating to right-wing framing, and behaving like you are a centrist is not a good idea and has not been successful for the Democratic Party in general. I wouldn't say that Joe Biden did that. Joe Biden had a background of being a center-right figure, but Joe Biden himself ran on a significantly more progressive campaign in terms of immigration in 2020 when he won, okay, for example, because you don't know how to win elections. Yeah, neither does the Democratic Party, it seems. What the f are you talking about? Democrats keep saying over and over again, oh my God, we just have to be more moderate. We just have to be more moderate. And then they just keep sucking ass. It's weird that the endless amount of momentum that the Democrats got over the course of this past month came when they did things that I've literally been begging for. Just saying. Only to then turn around and drop that on a dime. This was supposed to be Kamala Harris's moment. This was, she's so far not really released any sort of policy papers. So this was supposed to be like the American public that still doesn't know what she's about. This was going to be her big reveal. Like, here's what I stand for. Here's what I will push for. And in that process, the things that she said she would push for were pretty bad overall. It's not captivating for younger audiences at all, for younger voters in general. Maybe they figured since they got the nomination officially, they pivot to the Senate to capture the rest of Americans. Not that I agree with it. The Democratic Party's primary base is not the most progressive force. The Democratic Party's possible general electorate is the more progressive force, even though Democrats regularly do the exact opposite. Republicans' primary base of support is more radical than their general electorate. Democrats' primary base of support is less radical than their general electorate. Democrats' primary base of support is the MSNBC watching 75-year-old suburban high-educated voters who are terrified at the prospect of having an unelectable candidate. An unelectable candidate means whatever MSNBC is telling them is unelectable. That's it. That's how Democrats operate in the primaries. They should be doing the exact opposite. Democrats always consistently run to the middle as soon as they end the primaries. It's insane to me. Yeah, I hated this take, by the way, Megaphonics. I guess my feeling is that if you're up by 2.8 and you need to be up by 5 in order to win, it's unclear whether there will be another election. That speech is the one you need to give, but God help us all, I hope some of that was just lying. Yeah, that's pure copium. It's not lying. It's what she thinks is the right thing to do when it's not the right thing to do anyway. Brother, you need 51%. You win by staking yourself right next to your opponent and grab the margin. Sorry, friends, if she dedicates her campaign to Palestine, she loses. If one more person thinks that I'm talking about Palestine when I'm talking about all of the other policies that she's bringing up, I'm going to laser you, okay? I'm going to send you to Palestine. Do you understand? I'm going to put you on a trebuchet and launch you into. Shut the up. I am not talking about Palestine, even though that also is an issue where she stands to gain and stands to lose nothing. But many of you have forgotten about this for some weird reason. Why are you mad, Law? Because I have to deal with baboons every day. All of a sudden, I am fearful that this is a 2016 campaign rerun with liberals running scared and going, no, you don't understand. The Democratic Party knows best. You don't know anything. Shut the fuck up. They forgot the joy that they felt for the last month when they were thinking, oh my God, this is like a relatively progressive campaign. This is pretty sick. It's like no longer Joe Biden, for example. Like, I'm sick and tired of having to play this game every election cycle. It sucks so bad. It sucks so bad. And people are very desperate to just go, oh, he's just saying this because that's his pet project, he only cares about, okay? It frustrates me to no end. I'm not talking about is one aspect of this conversation, only one singular aspect of this conversation, okay? There's a percentage of voters that you can absolutely pick up. There is definitely tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of voters that you can pick up if you moved in the opposite direction and broke away from Biden. That's 100% correct. And there are no voters you would lose in that process either. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about all the other
in all caps, where's Hunter? I swear to God, the Republican ticket has morphed into a poor man's cat turd.
That's a good line.
Of course, an important part of tonight was familiarizing people with the Democratic nominee's biography, a hallowed walk through the trials and tribulations that formed the ethos and spirit of the Democratic nominee. Because up until tonight, they didn't have a lot. Thin on the anecdotes, quite frankly. I mean, I know.
FYI, are you being hate watched by that community again? They're in here baiting you. Yeah, I don't think it's just that community, though. There's like people in my community that are also hyper libbed up as well.
They didn't have much time, but this is what they were running out there.
Vice President Harris came and visited my restaurant.
You know, I know you only had 4 weeks to put this movie together, but come on. You got to do better than...
I think we have a lot of new young chatters whose first or second election this might be, who genuinely don't understand how much Dems have moved to the right over the last 20 or so years. There's a reason you and other olds in the chat are ringing alarm bells. I know. It'll take another election cycle for them to like harden and become as cynical as I am, I think. Like every 4 years, every 4 years, I just become more and more sad about the dire prospects of the American future.
I was working and she walked in. I drove her in an Uber. Come on, the big movers and shakers of the Democratic Party must know her well.
She worked at McDonald's. And she greeted every person with that.
I can't, dude, Jeffrey Epstein's bestie, Hillary Clinton, dude, I didn't even watch this speech. I didn't even see a single blip on this speech. I feel like the media didn't even cover it. But if you remember, I didn't watch the speech, but I also told you that it would have been ass, you know?
1,000-watt smile and said, how can I help you?
I think you have to say that when you work at McDonald's, or really any point of service occupation. How can I help you is kind of the thing. I don't know that the transaction can really take place if you do not acknowledge that delicate dance of whether or not they will supersize. Are there less professional, more personal stories?
My phone rings. It's Kamala Harris. She called me.
My phone rang again, and it was Vice President Kamala Harris.
If you're lucky enough to be her friend, she calls you on her birthday.
Wait. She calls you on her birthday? That is very on her birthday, she calls you. Hey, girl.
Oh yeah, I remember when Keith Elson co-signed Kamala the other day. I know that was what my last bastion of hope was. That's why I was like, oh, maybe things will be different. But I was like waiting, and then I saw the uncommitted campaign and the way that they treated the uncommitted campaign, and then I heard the Kamala Harris speech, which was awful in terms of like American militarism. And now I don't think that I don't know. It's just not looking too good.
It's Kamala. Anything you have to say to me that you should have said hours ago? By the way, this is like night 3 information. We're 3 days into the convention, and we're like, so she has.
I mean, this is good. Like, this is good commentary. It is functionally devoid of like what Kamala Harris will do that's different. Like, it's just more so still carrying on the vibe-based attitudes. Like, the vibes are good. The vibes are good. I think that is this is solid commentary overall.
By the way, is literally one of the only things we knew about her before she took office.
We did it. We did it, Joe.
She called people.
So far, he's saying what you're saying, but chatters are trying to cook you over it. I know, because the antagonistic relationship I've developed comes from the top of the hour ad break that I serve at the top of the hour every hour. It's 3 minutes long, and chatters obviously see that. And if they're not subscribed, they watch 3 minutes of ads and they get mad. So they're constantly on the lookout for any kind of deviation. There's a very antagonistic relationship between the streamer and the chat in that regard. But if you no longer want to see those ads, and you no longer want to have an antagonistic relationship, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do, like I said, for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is free. Here's the 3 minute ad break now.
But credit where credit is due. The Democrats, on short notice, exploited their newfound momentum and enthusiasm with a display of the breadth and width of this diverse, often contradictory party of Roosevelt. At their convention, they had union leaders and CEOs. They had Democratic Party icons and lifelong Republicans. They had a guy yelling, "Screw the billionaires," followed immediately by a very happy billionaire.
Bro, this is verbatim. Okay, this is like, come on. This is bar for bar what I've said so far. This is like a 4-day recap that I've made. That's crazy.
It's all okay if it's our billionaire. I don't like billionaires, but he's all right. They had guys making fun of people for going to Yale, and a bunch of people who went to Yale. They had Barack Obama and Jewish Barack Obama. That's always good for politics. You know what really works? A Jewish guy that sounds like a black guy. The Democrats had people who prosecuted sexual predators and... There goes that booking. They had Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, gay Americans, Jewish Americans, Palestinian Americans. Oh. Well, to be fair, it was only 4 nights, 8 hours a night. But really, it's best not to think about the consequences of our actions over there, especially given the theme of the week.
I can feel the excitement in this arena. It's filled with energy and with joy.
The air of joy.
Joy. Joy. Joy.
We will be joyful warriors. The president of joy.
Let us choose joy.
Yes. Oh, it was joyful. For a convention. I know what real joy looks like because I've watched Oprah on her show. You thought people were happy to see her endorse Kamala Harris. You should see what they do when she gives them lip liner.
People want this. It's the Sony virus.
Joy.
I didn't miss the most important part. I heard it. He said, no, it had everyone except Palestinians.
Asian Americans, gay Americans, Jewish Americans, Palestinian Americans. Oh.
Did he make a pedophile joke about Bill Clinton? No.
And a bunch of people who went to Yale. They had Barack Obama.
Oh, damn. Okay,
that's always good for politics. You know what really works? A Jewish guy that sounds like a black guy. The Democrats had people who prosecuted sexual...
Yeah, no, I didn't come up with Josh Shapiro sounding like Obama. Come on, that was Josh Shapiro that came up with that. Okay, calling Shapiro Jewish Obama is insane. He's nowhere close. Are you kidding me? If you closed your eyes and I played a speech, to you from Josh Shapiro and Barack Obama, you would not be able to distinguish between the two. Like, it's not even a thing.
The Democrats had people who prosecuted sexual predators and...
That's crazy that he said that.
There goes that booking.
That's actually crazy you said that.
Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, gay Americans, Jewish Americans, Palestinian Americans. Oh. Well, to be fair, it was only 4 nights, 8 hours a night. But really, it's best not to think about the consequences of our actions over there, especially given the theme of the week.
I can feel the excitement in this arena. It's filled with energy and with joy.
The air of joy.
Joy. Joy. Joy.
We will be joyful warriors. The president of joy.
Let us choose joy.
Yes. Oh, and was joyful. For a convention. I know what real joy looks like because I've watched Oprah on her show. You thought people were happy to see her endorse Kamala Harris. You should see what they do when she gives them lip liner.
People want this. It's the Stony Vibe.
That's joy. Pretty good. The Democrats are about joy, and they are about excitement. Oh, and one other thing.
I was a paratrooper and an Army Ranger. I flew in the Navy during the first Gulf War.
I enlisted, fought alongside my brothers with Lima 325 in Iraq.
I gave the order directing our Special Operations Forces to fly 2 helicopters 150 miles into Abbottabad at night. And by the time the sun rose, Osama bin Laden was dead.
Proud to be in America. That's right, these are the new Democrats, man. They lead with joy and compassion and acceptance. And oh yeah, we will
Wait, why are liberals so mad at me, but not mad at fucking Jon Stewart? This has been 15 minutes, uninterrupted. 15 minutes of just like literally everything I have said. That's crazy. He's saying literally the identical shit. I don't know why I've not learned the lesson of never asking chat a rhetorical question like that, because immediately everyone in the chat goes, because you're annoying, because you suck, because he's funny. Like, even all of his fucking jokes are identical to the jokes I make. Fuck you mean? The fuck?
Listen to me. Whatever you're feeling, go with it. Whether that feeling is joy or perhaps relief at having a chance when you had none is exhilarating.
Even this, like, that excitement inside of those halls came from the fact that it was no longer Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, which was a race to the bottom, and that Joe Biden was going to inevitably lose that race.
And the Democrats were hitting all the right notes. The cameraman? Not so much.
When a house is on fire, we don't ask about the homeowner's race or religion. No. We just try to do the best we can to save them. And if the place happens to belong to a childless cat lady,
Bruh.
I love that the camera just stayed on her. She literally turned around like, are these saying that is this? Hold on. Here's the crazy part. After this cutaway, the woman was interviewed. She is childless and has 2 cats. And you know what that means? A C-SPAN don't play. C-SPAN does the research. But ultimately, look, Democrats have already drank the Kool-Aid. It's very difficult when you're inside that convention environment to know if this has been a successful endeavor. Perhaps the best way to see how well it actually went is through the eyes of a more objective observer, a fair and balanced organization that will give you a more clear-eyed perspective. How did Fox News experience this convention? At the beginning, I've got to be honest, I'm not sure they cared for it.
There's not much joy in this convention hall.
There were empty seats here when even as late as when Joe Biden was speaking.
The vibes are off. No one's talking to each other. This is probably the most boring scene I've ever seen in my entire life.
Ooh, so boring. I forgot what a daredevil like you is. Ooh, I forgot your life is a never-ending joyride of talking to Brit Hume in between catheter ads on Fox. Ooh, you're a man.
This might be the best Jon Stewart. Like, this might be the best I've seen him in years. This was like wall to wall and hilarious.
What? But unfortunately for Jesse Knievel over here, the next night, even Fox had to acknowledge fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji.
Great time down here. Stevie Wonder just performed, and there's more electricity in this room.
Good vibes, and you'll never guess what? They had a problem on this night as well.
No one's talking about the actual issues that matter.
All about fuzzy puppies and little kittens.
All the joy, all the vibe, all the emotion is nothing but empty calories. They burn fast and make you fat.
The good vibes aren't gonna, you can't eat good vibes, right?
Oh, so which is it? Do the vibes fatten you up, or are they emotional Ozempic? Which one? But I guess you're right. You can't feed your family on vibes. You can only feed your family on immigration fear-mongering. You can't eat good vibes. I think you might be confusing vibes with the tomato-infused soup-adjacent fondue, the weapon of mass lactation that this city calls. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, that's right, motherfucker. Come on.
Damn, he even came for fucking. Oh my God, he even came for deep dish, bro. What the fuck? What's next? Is he gonna say hot dogs have to have ketchup on them? I mean, that's a classic bit. That's not me. Like, he's in Chicago. I did the same thing at the Chapo show, and they booed me with the same intensity.
I want to order a pizza. Oh, yeah, you want a personal or backyard poolside? Look, let me tell you this. All right. I will say this. The bar pies are good. All right. I am winded. The point is this. By the third night of the convention, even at Fox News, the walls came tumbling down.
Tim Walz, I said earlier tonight he had to do fine, and that would be enough. He did great for him, for this crowd. And I even followed the football metaphors. He'll be a great wingman for Kamala Harris.
Yes. Fox News.
He's generational, dude. It's true.
Now knows the experience of being a Mets fan. Watching the Yankees always win the World Series. Yeah, that's Derek Jeter. Very talented. Most of Fox News was admitting defeat, except for young Jesse Waters, who bravely continued the pretense that the convention was going badly. Even when the footage right next to his fucking head disagreed.
Last night wasn't as jubilant as the media tells you. Seats were empty. It looked like there was a formal dress code. The lines to get in the stadium were long and silent. The only joy in the building was Joy Reid, who nobody even recognizes. You see these liberal media anchors walking around and no one even stops them for selfies. Actually feel bad for them. Last night felt like a funeral, and it was.
Last night felt like a funeral. And,
I'm not gonna lie, nothing gets me fucking nothing gets me back into like at least somewhat in the liberal camp, like hearing a Republican speak for more than 3 seconds, dude. Like, it's just the moment that they start chirping, I'm like, dude, you're so fucking insane. Like, you're just so fucking delusional. Like, they have adopted the, I guess, like, aesthetics slash I don't know, like they have adopted the vibes of a pathological liar. Like, they just lie for no reason. They lie about little things. That's how you know. They're not just like lying about big things. They lie about little things too, which makes no fucking sense.
We all know funerals always have a DJ. Goodbye, dearest grandfather.
Like, it was a shit show in there because of how fucking intense it was.
You either live in the hills or the flatlands. We lived in the flats.
But Kamala Harris, she gets us. She sees us.
This is funny too. They're making fun of like the New York Times fact check.
She is us.
Thank God, dude. The media is on